Hi everyone, welcome to Mr. Wagid's math class. Today we will be solving equations with variables on both sides of the equation using inverse operation. If you can follow those 5 easy steps, I guarantee you will get your answer right. Step number 1, undo parentheses using distributive property. Step number 2, combine like terms on the same side of the equation. Step number 3, collect the variables to one side of the equation. Step number 4, if there's a constant on the same side as the variable, get rid of that constant using inverse operation. Step number 5, if there's a coefficient other than 1 with the variable, divide both sides of the equation with that coefficient. Now let's look at this equation. Negative 2 times x minus 5 equals 6 times 2 minus half x. Step number 1 is to undo parentheses. And I have 2 parentheses on both sides of the equation. Distributive property is to multiply negative 2 times x, negative 2 times 5, 6 times 2, and 6 times half. So let's see how that works. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10, and bring the minus down, equals 6 times 2 is 12. Bring the minus down. Now 6 times half x, if you don't know how to do that, put a 1 under the 6 and multiply fractions across. 6 times 1 is 6, 1 times 2 is 2x. Now let's simplify this. Bring the negative 2x down. Subtracting a negative is the same as adding 10, equals, bring the 12 down, and 6 divided by 2 is 3x. Step number 2 is to combine like terms on the same side of the equation. Negative 2 and 10 are not like terms. One is a coefficient, the other one is a constant. Same thing on the other side. 12 is a constant and 3 is a coefficient. I can't combine those two. So step number 3 is to collect the variable to one side of the equation. You have the variable x on both sides. One is negative 2x and the other one is 3x. Subtraction is the same as adding in negative. So I know I have a negative 3 and a negative 2. Negative 3 is less than negative 2, so I will get rid of the negative 3x from that side. And the inverse operation, instead of subtraction, is adding 3x on this side, add 3x to this side. Now, negative 2x plus 3x equals 1x. Bring the plus down, bring the 10 down, equals, bring the 12 down, negative 3 plus 3x equals 0. 12 plus 0 is 12. So now, step number 4, if there's a constant on the same side as the variable, get rid of that constant. So 1x plus 10 equals 12. 10, adding 10 is on the same side as the x. To undo addition, you use subtraction. Subtract 10 from both sides, and you end up with x equals 2. Since the coefficient is 1, dividing by 1 stays the same. So you're done, x equal 2. That's your solution. Now let's check and see if 2 is the right answer for this equation. If 2 is a solution for this equation. Replace x every time you see x in the equation with 2, and make sure you put 2 in parentheses just in case if you need to multiply it. So now negative 2 parentheses 2 minus 5 equals 6 parentheses 2 minus half, and replace x with 2 again. Make sure you put a question mark on top of the equal sign because you're checking to see if the equation will be balanced at the end. Now use order of operation. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. Bring the negative 2 down, equal sign down, 6 bring it down, and then 2 minus half of 2 is 1. And if you don't know how to do that, put the 2 over 1 and multiply across. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1, so you end up with 1 anyway. Now, negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. Bring the equal sign down. You make sure you're still checking, so you still have the equal sign to check to see if it's still balanced. Bring the 6 down, and 2 minus 1 is 1. Now, 6 equals 6 times 1. 6 equals 6, it's balanced. That means this solution x equal 2 is the right answer for this problem. Okay, now solve the equations. Check your solution if possible. So let's see what if possible means. Look at the first equation, and we will follow the 5 easy steps that we talked about first. You have half x plus half x equal x plus 1. Step number 1, parentheses. I don't have parentheses. Step number 2, combine like terms on the same side of the equation. And I do have x and x, they same term, so add the coefficients. Half plus half is 1. You end up with 1x on this side. Bring the equal sign, x plus 1, bring it down. Step number 3 is to collect the variables. And I do have the same variable on both sides, x. Which one has the least coefficient? This has 1x. We usually don't write 1 for the coefficient if it's 1. So I will erase this one, but it means you have 1x and you have 1x here. Now, subtract 1x from this side, subtract 1x from this side, put your line through, write your answer down. X minus x is 0, x minus x is 0, plus 1, bring it down. Now combine the 0 plus 1 equals 1, bring the equal sign, and then 0. Does 1 equal 0? Is that possible? No. So 1 does not equal 0. What does that mean? It means this problem has no solutions. So the answer is no solutions. Any number will not solve this equation. Now let's check the second problem. You have 1/3 time a parentheses. So the step number 1 is to undo parentheses. 1/3 times 9x and 1/3 times 3. Since this is a fraction, I'll put this over 1 and put this over 1 because it's easy to multiply across. 1 times 9 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. Bring the x down. Plus 1 times 3 is 3. And 3 times 1 is 3. Bring the equal sign down. 3x, bring it down. Plus in 1, bring it down. Now, step number 2, combine like terms. This has an x. This doesn't have an x. This has an x. This does not have an x. So there is no like terms. I can't combine them. Step number 3 is collect the variables. Before I do that, let's simplify it. 9 divided by 3 is 3x. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Then bring 3x plus 1 down. Now collect the variables. Which one is the least coefficient? They both have 3. So subtract one of them. Subtract 3, make sure the whole term is subtracted. Subtract 3x, not just the 3. And bring your answers down. 3x minus 3x is 0, plus 1 equals 3x minus 3x is also 0, plus 1. Now combine like terms. 0 plus 1 is 1. Does it equal 0 plus 1 is 1? Yes, it's balanced, it's checked. But what does that mean? It means infinite solution. So the answer to this one, infinite many solutions. Which means all the numbers will make both equations equal. And if you notice somewhere, I can stop here. 3x plus 1 equals 3x plus 1. That's the same equation, which means infinite many solution. But let's see if x equal 1. Does that balance the equation? X equal 1. Substitute x in the equation instead with 1. So 1/3 times 9, and instead of x, I'm going to replace it with 1, plus 3 equals 3. Now I have x, I replace it with 1. Make sure it's in parentheses just in case you have to multiply, because you do have to multiply now. Now order of operation inside the parentheses first. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. Bring the 1/3 down, equals 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1. Now, if this is a fraction and this is not, put the 12 over 1, make it a fraction. 12 over 1, so now 1 times 12 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3. equals 3 plus 1 is 4. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 4 equals 4. It did check. Remember, you're checking, so you need a question mark to make sure it is correct. So any solution, and you can try it with any number. Any number would work and make both equations balanced or equal. Okay, here's a real world problem. Let's read it and see how we can solve this one. It's about satellite TV. Provider A charges $75 for installation and $39.95 per month for the basic package. Provider B offers free installation and charges $39.95 per month for the basic package. Your neighbor subscribed to provider A, same month you subscribe to provider B. After how many months is your neighbor's total cost is the same as your cost for satellite TV, and that is the question mark. So look for the question mark and underline the question because this is what I'm looking for. How many months? So what am I looking for? Number of months. Now circle the numbers and see what we have. We have $75 for installation and $39.95 for installation for one company. Now let's see the second company. They charge $39.95 a month, but they do not charge any installation fee. So let's solve this for both companies and write the equation. We need to know when will they be paying the exact same amount. In the word same means equal. The word same means equal. So I need two equations, one for A, for the cost, for B. When does it equal the cost for company A? So let's write the equations. Company A, which is the first one, charges $75 for installation. That's a flat fee. So there's $75. And means plus $39.95 per month. The word per means time, every month. So 1 month they pay $39.95. In another month you multiply it by 2. 3 months you multiply it by 3. That's why per means time. So $39.95 time what? How many months? And that's the question. Months. And that's the X. The number of months will represent the X. So $39.95 per month, that means times X. Now let's talk about company B. Company B charges $39.95 a month and no installation fee. So there's nothing to start with, but only $39.95 a month, which means per X or per month. When are they going to be equal? When are they going to be the same? Okay, now let's solve those two equations. I don't have parentheses. I don't have like terms. All I have is to collect the variables to one side. I have 39.95x and I have 39.95x. Get rid of the smaller one. Subtract 39.95x. Subtract 39.95x. Put your line through. They cancel each other, which is 0. 75 plus 0 is 75 equals 0. Is this possible? No. That means no solution, which means they will never pay the same amount of money at any point at any month. And that's what no solution means. Never. If it was infinite solution, it will be always. That's it for today's lesson. Hope it makes sense. Thank you for listening.